Grenada records a 40% increase in revenue earned by government for the first 9 months of 2022 from the CBI program, a total of $112 million. We'll have details to this story and more in the national report.
Prepare for hurricane. Prepare for hurricane. Make sure you have your radio and your batteries too. Waterproof flashlight candles will do. Tin stuff, garbage bag, first aid kit. Come on people, make sure you have it. Clean water in a container and a hurricane plan. Hear me no man.
Hurricane damage is beyond your control. Surviving the aftermath is up to you. Have a hurricane plan. It can save your life and your family too.
Prepare for hurricane. Your hair, prepare for hurricane.
With the details to the news for Thursday, November 3rd, I am Rikisha St. Louis. Grenada is experiencing major benefits with its earnings under the Citizenship by Investment program, noting a record 40% increase in revenue earned by government for the first 9 months of 2022 compared to the same period in 2021. To further break this down, government collected $112 million in 2022 during the first 9 months from the CBI program, while $80 million was collected for the same period in 2021. Additionally, the approved applications for private sector projects will potentially generate $207 million in investment project funds for the period January to September 2022, compared to the $161 million for the same period in 2021. These numbers are why government is keen on ensuring a healthy investment climate in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique, as it has proven to be beneficial for the state. Prime Minister Honorable Deacon Mitchell says the investment migration or citizen by investment industry is a $20 billion industry, and Grenada can reap positively from this sector. He was delivering the keynote address at the Investment Migration and the Grenada Cooperative Bank Limited annual roundtable conference on Thursday at Radisson Beach Resort.
The government of Grenada will be moving purposefully and systematically to strengthen our CBI program. The National Transformation Regulations will be brought to life to ensure that the fund is actually created and that the projects funded by the NTF are those designed to fundamentally change for the better our quality of life and resilience as a people. And I listened to Bruno talk about the fact that the funds should not be used for recurrent expenditure, but to really be placed in projects and programs that are transformative and that can sustain and improve quality of life for our people.
Government has begun restructuring the local CBI program to ensure it operates at maximum capacity while at the same time serving in the best interest of the country. A new board was instituted and the process of increasing staff at the CBI office has begun. Prime Minister Mitchell says the CBI program, though heavily focused on hotel and real estate investment, falls within his government's transformational agenda for the tourism sector, which will translate to even more benefits for the country.
Speaking to our transformational agenda for tourism, on page of my party's manifesto, we committed to grow room stock in Grenada to 4,000 hotel rooms, whereby special investment incentives will be provided for expansion of room stock in parishes outside of St. George. And to promote high-end stayover visitors, we will promote investment in small to medium-sized luxury hotels and villas to attract visitors seeking a special experience and destination. And therefore, special incentives will be given for the development of tourism in rural communities. I highlight this passage and I draw attention to it because some persons hold the view that the CBI program is too heavily weighted to tourism and real estate development. But this emphasis is unlikely to change until we get to the critical number of rooms that will guarantee the viability of our international airport, create year-round employment in the tourism sector, and allow viable small businesses in the supply chain to flourish.
Prime Minister Mitchell commended the Grenada Cooperative Bank for their efforts in supporting and creating the platform for investment discussions that can take the country forward. The Ministry of Social and Community Development, Housing and Gender Affairs, in collaboration with the Engender Project and the UNDP, turned the sword on Wednesday to signal the start of construction of a responsive, climate-smart, multi-purpose center in Lakalom, St. David. The center will cater to the training and capacity development needs of people living with disabilities in Grenada. The climate-smart center will be constructed under the Enabling Gender-Responsive Disaster Recovery, Climate and Environmental Resilience and Gender in the Caribbean. The sword turning follows the project launch at the Radisson Grenada Beach Resort on Tuesday. Manager of the Engender Project, Dr. Mariam Allen, said the UNDP is responsible for giving support to the government of Grenada by conducting a feasibility and environmental assessment. The project manager said the UNDP is ecstatic to be part of the initiative to further integrate gender equality and human rights-based approaches to disaster risk reduction and climate change adaptation.
Engender's work in Grenada is a multi-tiered project initiative which includes a first step support to the government of Grenada to conduct a gender-responsive feasibility and environmental assessment, which applies a rights-based approach to secure co-financing from other development institutions such as the Caribbean Development Bank, as well as other potential funding agencies in the development of a national disability resource center for Grenada, located in this area. At present, there is no dedicated people with disabilities responsive facility. The development of a national disability resource center will allow for the government of Grenada to achieve one of its key targets outlined within the National Gender Equality Policy and Action Plan, which positions for the inclusion of gender sensitivity to be embedded in both disaster response as well as disaster preparedness in respect of specific needs of different communities, households, and persons with special needs.
Minister with responsibility for community development and housing, Honorable Philip Telesford, said his ministry welcomes the initiative.
The Ministry of Social Development, Social and Community Development, Housing, and Gender Affairs has identified the need for people with disability responsive programming and policies. The Climate Smart Multipurpose Center will incorporate sustainable building practices, including rainwater harvesting and 100% solar power. So the building is going to be totally powered by energy from the sun. And that is indeed a wonderful milestone to be achieved. This PWD Responsive Climate Smart Multipurpose Center will serve as a demonstration site and resource center to drive awareness, education, and capacity development around PWD responsive policies and intervention.
This is the National Report. The news will continue after the break.
Grenada. The time for the national census is here again. Interviewers will be visiting your home.
Anglican School is one of 8 institutions to benefit from Veronica's Way, a non-profit organization based in the United States with a mission to enhance and empower the lives of people in the global community by expressing acts of love through service in areas of ending hunger, computer literacy, and educational support. Founder of the organization is Grenadian Crispin Michael Booker. During an interview with the GIS, he says the organization was founded to honor the memory of his grandmother, Veronica Paul, who has taught him the importance of love and compassion for others. On Wednesday, the organization gifted and installed 8 desktop computers at the Mount Morris Anglican School. Crispin says this is his organization's 2nd trip to Grenada since the founding of the group in 2016.
We've donated 65 computers to this mission. We are going to 8 institutions. I use the word institutions because not all are schools. We wanted to make sure that we tackle the schools in Grenada, but also there are programs and other facilities that are providing aid to children in the community. One of them being the program for adolescent mothers, and the other being the Bel Air home for children. And lastly, Bring Back Belmont. We're providing them computers as well to help take the neighborhood children off the street and start teaching them how to use a computer.
The selection of institutions is done following a process.
We have a nomination form that you have to fill out. It tells us how many students are in the school, the shape of the computer room, if they have a computer room, the necessary security protocols in place to protect the computers and make sure that they're not impacted by inclement weather. And from there, we just take those recommendations and we vet them from there. We make phone calls, we talk to the school sends us pictures to validate everything, and then we just create an ongoing relationship from there.
The Rotary Club East of Grenada played an integral role in ensuring that the computers were cleared at the port and securely stored for distribution. President of the Rotary Club East is Charles Hossel.
We were actually approached through the Co-op Bank, and Veronica's Way had, obviously, I guess because of their contacts up here, got in touch with them, and it was suggested that the Rotary Clubs got involved, and through Mr. Dowden, he approached Mr. Granger, who is a member of our club, and that's how we got involved. We were more than happy to use our expertise and our contacts to help them bring in their computers and safely store them so that when they came, they wouldn't have a problem with the equipment, and then we would help them install.
Principal of the Mount Morris Anglican School, Rachel Fort, expressed gratitude on the behalf of the staff and students.
I am very happy to have received these gifts this morning, as a lot of the times we seem not to be fortunate enough to get gifts such as these, and I can express my gratitude to Veronica's Way in collaboration with the Rotary Club of Grenada enough for this gift this morning. It's a very timely gift.
Veronica's Way team will depart the island on Saturday. Finally, in the news, the staff at the Ministry of Labour said thank you and goodbye to Acting Labour Commissioner Reginald Lord for his over 30 years of service. A ceremony to celebrate his retirement was held on Wednesday. Mr. Lord will be remembered within the service as a Labour officer and most recently Acting Labour Commissioner who fought hard to resolve labour and occupational health and safety issues. Minister for Labour Senator the Honourable Claudette Joseph and Permanent Secretary Anna Brizan commended Mr. Lord for his contribution in labour and wished him an enjoyable retirement.
32 years is a long time. 32 years of dedicated service to country and to the people of Grenada. Not many people can boast of selfless service and sacrifice to one's nation for such a long time. And so, on behalf of the government and people of Grenada, I thank you from the bottom of my heart, and specifically on behalf of the Prime Minister, for your long years of dedicated service, sacrifice, and stick-to-itiveness in the rough times and the tough times. I knew you from before. I would really like for you to enjoy your retirement, your well-earned retirement. You have certainly left your mark here. I can see that in the short space of time that I have been Minister of Labour. You are certainly a champion for your co-workers and for fairness in dealing with matters that come before you as Commissioner.
And as you reflect on your journey in the public service, you are truly the personification of, without a test, there is a testimony. And without a trial, there will be no triumph. And you have displayed the highest level of professionalism, dedication and passion to the development of the labor relations field in Grenada, given 32 years of service. So I join with all your colleagues to wish you the very best and God's richest blessings of only the brightest and the best on your life.
It was a bittersweet moment for members of staff who were trained by Mr. Lord and those who worked with him over the years.
He taught us practically and intellectually as well. He showed us the way, and he also put us out there immediately. He was like, the best way to learn is to be out there and to experience it. But Mr. Lord, I must say that I appreciate everything that you have done. Cheers to you, Mr. Lord, and blessings.
Throughout the time, he has always been there to give us guidance. My first inspection was Mr. Lord, my first occupational health and safety inspection. And Mr. Lord opened my eyes towards occupational health and safety. Keep in mind, before I entered here, I never knew occupational health and safety existed. And so he kept coaching us throughout, until I had a passion of my own and I decided that I wanted to do a course in occupational health and safety through Mr. Lord. So I could say that he has inspired me to move forward educational-wise, learning-wise through occupational health and safety. Thanks a lot for having me. The emotions are coming. That's natural. He made sure he tell me, don't go and put on a bag of tears inside. So, Mr. Lord, thanks again, and I really appreciate you. You know where you have been, what you have been through, and who you have been to me, and I really appreciate you.
Oh, Mr. Lord, it was nice working with you. You love people, and people love you. And we know wherever you go, you will always fit in. And you'll be leaving labor, but the good thing is I know where you live.
Mr. Lord, I just want to wish you all the best in your journey. I pray that God will bless you and keep you. I pray for a long life for you. And throughout the years, working in the public service, that's my first time actually working with you closely. But I've known you throughout the years, and you have been an inspiration to me because you have this warmness about you. You're easy to welcome people and stuff. You jokify and you're just friendly and everything. And I feel close towards you, although we haven't worked together for long. So I just want to wish you all the best, and I pray that God will just continue to bless you and keep you.
An emotional Lord reminisced on his journey within the service and advised the younger employees to remain focused on getting the job done.
What you should concentrate on is the service that you provide, and that's the best reward. Thanks for the token. Thanks for making me feel appreciated.
That story just ended the national report for Thursday, November 3rd, recapping the top story. Grenada records a 40% increase in revenue earned by government for the first 9 months of 2022 from the CBI program, a total of $112 million. On behalf of the entire news and production team, I am Rikisha St. Louis saying thank you for joining us.